It felt like just the world stopped. My first thought was, am I gonna die? You know, and
I was totally in terror. I thought, death.
I couldn't believe it because there was no cancer in my family at all.
And then the funny thing I thought of was, I wonder what I'll look like bald.
It'll be pretty here in a couple weeks, I'll bet you. Sometimes my family doesn't like my jokes because they get a little dark, but now they'll get used to it. Kind of maintenance and...
So they originally thought it was going to be about that size, and it turned out to be about that size.
Well, the first diagnosis, it was just a small area, and they did a total hysterectomy and told me it was gone. And then the second time around with the football-sized tumor, it was pretty obvious that there was something more going on than the first time around.
you know, when I was first diagnosed and we were doing heavy chemo regimens, I would have time to go home and sleep and nap whenever I wanted to and just relax. But the hardest part now is trying to function as a mom, as a wife, you know.
Radiation twice a day for 2 weeks and chemo once every week, and that just, it drained everything out of me. I can remember pulling up in the parking lot and thinking, oh my God, I gotta walk in there. And you'd get out of the car and your legs were just like jello, just shaking back and forth.
I always have music in my head, always. I always have songs in my head. I looked at my husband and I said, I don't have any music in my head. I don't have any songs to sing. And he went, you know, this is really affecting her. And I thought, yeah, it really is. I was completely different during the recovery periods. It was very, very, very tough.
I guess you find out how many friends you have and how much people care for you.
You have to tap into that network. You don't go through it alone. Bring your family into it. Tell them how you're really feeling. Don't try to be, suck it up and take help. Get help.
Oh, I feel like I am so blessed to have the support network that I do. My husband is my rock. My family, my sister, my mom, my dad, in-laws, family, friends near and far. And I just feel so lucky to have all of the prayer warriors that I do.
I had one nurse that 2 nights in a row, she came in and asked me if I wanted a foot rub. I'd never had a nurse do that before. I
just feel like all of the doctors really have my best interest at heart. And I feel like every time I have an interaction with them, it actually builds on a relationship. And I feel like they genuinely care about me. They ask about my boys, they know their names. They see my husband and they recognize him.
You heal quicker when you feel like people are rallying for you, they're rooting for you.
The equipment that they use is state of the art.
This is the place in the Midwest. I mean, people come from all over, even from Kansas City and, other big cities to come to that program, to the Methodist, head and neck cancer program.
I'm not sure I'd be here doing this interview with you if they hadn't been persistent and their whole team hadn't worked so hard to get the tumor, that one and the 4 smaller ones out.
I was diagnosed as stage 4 palliative care, and that was obviously hard to take. A hard pill to swallow, but the chemo has been working a lot for me. I had 11 spots in my lungs and other numerous places. My lungs are now clear. My spots are shrinking in all areas.
I feel great. I mean, and I don't, yes, I got a little stiffness and sometimes I can't lift my arm, but in some ways I actually feel better than I did than 3 years ago.
It's a wonderful life still. So that's my wish for anybody with cancer. Just keep plodding along and hope that it all works out for the best.
There's so much hope. I'm battling this for the 3rd time. I'm still here. So
trust in God, because He's the one that's got everything under control anyway.
Keep your head up and be positive and just plow ahead. You can do it.